The Battle of the Trebia, fought in December 218 BCE, was one of the first major engagements of the Second Punic War and a defining moment in the military career of the Carthaginian general Hannibal Barca. Taking place near the Trebia River in northern Italy, this battle is remembered not only for its strategic brilliance, but also for the dramatic and harsh conditions under which it was fought. The clash between Hannibal's Carthaginian forces and the Roman Republic was a prelude to the more famous battles of Lake Trasimene and Cannae, but it was here that Hannibal first showcased his tactical genius on Italian soil. The Second Punic War was triggered by the growing rivalry between Rome and Carthage, two of the most powerful entities in the Mediterranean world. This conflict was a continuation of the hostilities that had begun in the First Punic War, 264 to 241 BCE, which ended with a Roman victory and the imposition of harsh terms on Carthage. However, the seeds of the Second Punic War were sown by the ambitions of the Barcid family, particularly Hamilcar Barca, who sought to rebuild Carthaginian power through conquests in Spain. His son, Hannibal, inherited this ambition and, at the age of 26, became the commander of Carthaginian forces in Spain. Hannibal's bold and audacious decision to march his army from Spain to Italy, crossing the Pyrenees, the Rhone River, and the formidable Alps, was a feat of military engineering and endurance that has become legendary. This arduous journey cost him many men and animals, but it also demonstrated his determination and leadership. By the time he descended into the Po Valley in northern Italy, Hannibal's force was much reduced, yet it remained a potent and well-disciplined army. The Roman Republic, caught off guard by Hannibal's sudden appearance in northern Italy, scrambled to respond. Rome had initially underestimated Hannibal's capabilities and believed that the main theater of war would be in Spain or Africa. The Roman Senate dispatched two consular armies to confront the Carthaginian threat. The first, under the command of Publius Cornelius Scipio, was initially sent to Spain but was redirected to Italy after news of Hannibal's crossing of the Alps. The second, under the command of Tiberius Sempronius Longus, was recalled from Sicily to join forces with Scipio and confront Hannibal. The two Roman consuls, Scipio and Sempronius, had very different temperaments and approaches to warfare. Scipio, who had already encountered Hannibal's forces at the Battle of the Ticinus River and had been wounded in the skirmish, was cautious and wary of Hannibal's unconventional tactics. He advocated for delaying a decisive engagement until they could better assess the Carthaginian army's strength and gather reinforcements. Sempronius, on the other hand, was eager to engage Hannibal and win a quick, decisive victory that would bolster his political career. This difference in strategy between the two consuls would play a crucial role in the outcome of the Battle of the Trebia. As winter approached, Hannibal needed to secure supplies and establish a firm foothold in the region. The Trebia River, located in the plains of the Po Valley, provided a suitable location for a major confrontation. Hannibal, fully aware of the Romans' divided leadership and their differing views on how to conduct the war, sought to exploit these weaknesses. He devised a plan to lure the Romans into a battle on his terms, taking full advantage of his superior cavalry and his mastery of battlefield deception. Hannibal's forces, although weary from their long march, were bolstered by local Gallic tribes who had long resented Roman encroachment in their territories. These Gauls provided crucial reinforcements and local knowledge, further enhancing Hannibal's strategic position. The Carthaginian army, though outnumbered, was a diverse and battle-hardened force, composed of Libyan infantry, Spanish skirmishers, Numidian cavalry, and war elephants alongside the Gallic warriors. Hannibal began his strategy by conducting a series of raids and skirmishes along the Roman supply lines, which provoked Sempronius and further inflamed his eagerness to engage in battle. Sempronius, already frustrated by Scipio's caution and eager to prove his military prowess, was easily goaded by Hannibal's actions. Hannibal's plan hinged on drawing Sempronius into a battle on a battlefield of his choosing, where he could utilize the terrain and his cavalry to maximum effect. The decisive moment came on a cold, foggy morning in December. Hannibal had prepared an ambush, positioning a contingent of his troops, including his younger brother Mago, and a force of elite infantry and cavalry, in concealment near the Trebia River. These troops were instructed to remain hidden until the battle was well underway. Hannibal then deployed his main army across the river, with his Numidian cavalry on the flanks, ready to outmaneuver the Roman forces. Sempronius, eager to engage, ordered his legions to cross the icy Trebia River at dawn, despite the freezing temperatures and the fact that his men had not yet eaten. The Roman soldiers, cold and hungry, waded through the frigid waters, which sapped their strength even before the battle began. This decision to cross the river under such conditions would prove disastrous, as it left the Roman troops exhausted and vulnerable. As the Romans struggled to form ranks on the opposite bank, Hannibal launched his attack. The Carthaginian cavalry, superior in both numbers and skill, quickly gained the upper hand, driving back the Roman cavalry and threatening the flanks of the Roman infantry. Meanwhile, the Carthaginian infantry, although outnumbered, held the center with disciplined ranks. Hannibal's use of war elephants, while not as decisive as in some later battles, added to the confusion and terror among the Roman ranks. At the critical moment, Mago's hidden force emerged from their concealment and attacked the Romans from the rear. This ambush, combined with the frontal assault by Hannibal's main army, threw the Roman forces into disarray. The Romans, caught between the advancing Carthaginians and the hidden force attacking from behind, found themselves encircled and unable to effectively maneuver or retreat. The battle quickly turned into a rout. The Roman soldiers, demoralized and exhausted, broke ranks and attempted to flee, but many were cut down by the pursuing Carthaginians. Those who managed to escape the battlefield were forced to scatter, seeking refuge in the nearby towns or attempting to rejoin the remnants of their army. Sempronius, realizing the battle was lost, withdrew with what remained of his forces, leaving behind thousands of dead and wounded on the field. The Battle of the Trebia was a resounding victory for Hannibal and a devastating defeat for Rome. The Roman losses were significant, with estimates suggesting that as many as 20,000 Roman soldiers were killed or captured. In contrast, Hannibal's losses were relatively light, thanks to his careful planning and the effectiveness of his ambush. The battle demonstrated Hannibal's tactical brilliance and his ability to outthink and outmaneuver his Roman adversaries. The aftermath of the battle had far-reaching consequences for both sides. For Rome, the defeat at the Trebia was a sobering reminder of the threat posed by Hannibal and his army. It exposed the vulnerabilities in the Roman military command structure and the dangers of underestimating an opponent like Hannibal. The defeat also had political ramifications, as blame was cast on Sempronius for his rash decision to engage Hannibal without adequate preparation. For Hannibal, the victory at the Trebia solidified his position in northern Italy and bolstered the morale of his troops and his Gallic allies. It also sent a powerful message to other potential allies in Italy, and beyond that Rome was not invincible. Hannibal's success at the Trebia would be followed by even greater victories at Lake Trasimene and Cannae, further demonstrating his strategic genius and his ability to exploit Roman weaknesses. The Battle of the Trebia was not just a military engagement. It was a psychological blow to Rome, shaking the confidence of the Roman people and their leaders. It marked the beginning of a long and costly conflict that would see Rome pushed to the brink of defeat, only to emerge victorious in the end through sheer resilience and determination. The lessons learned from the Trebia would influence Roman military strategy for generations to come, as they adapted and evolved in response to the challenges posed by Hannibal and his successors. In the broader context of the Second Punic War, the Battle of the Trebia was a crucial step in Hannibal's campaign to destabilize and ultimately defeat Rome. While he would never achieve his ultimate goal of conquering the city itself, his victories, starting with the Trebia, left an indelible mark on Roman military history and shaped the course of the war. Hannibal's tactics, particularly his use of ambush and the manipulation of enemy commanders, will be studied and admired by military strategists for centuries, influencing the art of war in ways that are still felt today. The Battle of the Trebia, with its blend of cunning strategy, bold leadership, and brutal combat, remains one of the most significant and instructive battles of the ancient world. It serves as a reminder of the importance of leadership, preparation, and the willingness to adapt to the realities of the battlefield, lessons that are as relevant today as they were over 2,000 years ago.